Hey, hello everyone. Now, welcome back to MakeBlock 5 and Mbot. Now, today we are going to look at a particular kind of output. This output is called the servo motor. Now, from this picture here, you can see this is a servo motor. Okay, right? Servo motor. Right? Now, what is a servo motor? A servo is a special type of motor for use in electronics that is designed to rotate to a particular position and hold the position until told to rotate to a different position. Okay, now you can find servos in hobbies such as radio control vehicle, such as airplanes and boats and hobby cars. But there are many types of servos being used in elsewhere, and a lot of them are found actually in the industries. Right now, in industries that involve robotics, right, manufacturing, etc. We are not going to talk too much on that, but today we are just going to try to understand how you can trigger the movement of the servo motor. Now, once again, I will switch off this camera and I will open the MakeBlock interface. Right, now here's the MakeBlock interface. Now the first thing you need to do is, of course, you need to look for, you need to add extension blocks, right? Extension blocks. Okay, now extension blocks. What are they? Okay, I will redo again. Okay, I will throw this away, and throw this block away. Right? Then I'm going to go to extension and I'm going to remove this. Okay, remove. Okay, can't remove. It's okay. Now let's see what happened here. Can I remove this? Okay, you can't remove. Okay, never mind. Okay, now, oh, I have a code here, so I'm going to remove this as well. Right, I'm going to go back to extension and I'm going to remove it. Okay, remove, and I'm going back to the make block maker platform, and I'm going to remove. You can't remove. Okay, let's go back again and see what is there remaining in the block. Nothing else. Right, okay, now let me see. Now maker platform, right? Okay, let's go back and go back to extension and see whether you can remove it. Okay, says that being used. Okay, let's do it this way. We're going to create a new project. All right, okay, I'm not going to save, don't save. Now I'm going to create a new project. All right, now, okay, the first thing you need to do is you're going to do a code for using the servo motor, right? And you need to have a extension. So click on extension and alright, need to remove tello, click on extension, look for Mbot and add it to the device, and then next you need to add an extension which is servo pack. Okay, the first thing is the servo pack. You realize that there's one block called the servo, right? Bring this out. Okay, now how am I going to move the servo? Now the first thing you need to do is, now of course you need an event block. How to activate? Now this is in live mode. We're going to use this in live mode. Now the first thing you need to do now is The next thing you need to do, sorry, you go to live and make sure your robot is connected by the cable to the Mbot. So connect, and you can see a COM port here. Click on connect and wait for this to appear. So it shows it's connected. Once it's connected, now you're going to make simple program to make the servo turn to different angles, right? The first thing we will do is we will reset the angle to 0. So the key to do that is I'm going to use the event, right? Instead of space bar, I will press the up arrow key in or on the laptop, uh, on the buttons on the laptop, right? Now on pressing up, I want to reset it to 0. Okay. Now the second command to make it turn to another angle is I'm going to use the down arrow to switch it to another position, which is 90, right? Okay. And the last event to use is I'm going to use the right arrow key to turn the servo to an angle of 45 degrees. Alright, okay, after doing that, okay, let's try the program. Alright, now what I'm going to do is now I'm going to switch on the video, the camera, and we're going to activate the program and see how the servo behaves. So I'm going to switch on the camera, switch on the camera. Alright, I'm going to place the camera over this side and make it bigger. Okay, now this is the servo. Alright, I'm going to place it here so that you can have a better view. Okay, now observe the servo. Right, this is the servo. Okay, this is the servo here. Observe the servo, and I'm going to press A. Right, the A is on the keyboard. Sorry, the up arrow is on keyboard. When I press the up arrow, notice that saw movement. Right, now when I press up arrow, the position of the lever has turned to back to the angle 0. Now to activate the down arrow, what will happen? I press on the down arrow on the laptop keyboard. Okay, you saw it turn by an angle of 90. Right, now I'm going to reset to 0. I press up arrow, right, and then I'm going to down arrow and it will turn to by an angle of 90. Now the last event, which is the right arrow on the keyboard, tap on it and it will turn an angle from the 0 position to a 45 degrees position. Okay, now A, press up, goes to 0, press right, go to 45, and then when I press down it will go to an angle of 90. Okay, okay, this is a very simple program to move to turn the servo to their various angle. Alright, now the next thing, we're going to combine this activity with the ultrasonic sensor. Now the ultrasonic sensor is, just to remind you, this is ultrasonic sensor. So I'm going to use the ultrasonic sensor to activate the motion of the Mbot. To activate the motion of the servo motor, right? using the ultrasonic sensor. Now I'm going to turn off the camera and I'm going to do some coding first before we return back to this camera view. So I'm going to turn that to off. Now let's put this aside, right? Put this aside. Okay, make it smaller, and then I will rearrange it. Okay, make it smaller, and then I'll rearrange it again. Okay. Now we are going to use the sensor, right, to give a condition to activate the servo. Now the ultrasonic sensors detect distance. Now I want, okay, in this simple exercise I will want the condition that if an object is close to the ultrasonic sensor, less than 30 mm, right, it will turn to an angle of 45 degrees, right? If that condition is met, it will turn to 45, else it will return to 0 degree. Okay, let's put together the code to do this. Now go to events. Now I'm going to use a space bar to start, right? Okay, let me magnify this again so that you can see it better. Magnify, and then I will put this here on space. Okay, now the starting event is on the space bar. Tap on the laptop. Now on spacing, we'll need to pull out a control if else. Now if, what's the condition? If the ultrasonic sensor sends an object less than 30, right, it will turn to an angle of 45 degrees. Right? Now let's see. Now, where can you find the condition? Right. You need to go to operator, right? Bring out the operator, put in 30, right? Next, you will need the ultrasonic sensor to sense and compare the value if it is less than 30 or greater than 30. Now we need to go to an extension. We need to bring out the Makers block. So go to extension, scroll down, look for a extension and add them to your coding blocks. Okay, once you press, you see that Makers block is here. Now once Makers block is up, you can find a lot of programming blocks relating to various ports, and they are either motor for LED panel. And let's scroll down and take a look whether we can find ultrasonic sensor. Now we can find ultrasonic sensor here. Okay, this is an input. I want to view the value, so I'm going to click on here and I'm going to view the value, ultrasonic sensor, which is connected to port 3. I bring this out and I drop it into this location here. Now what does it tell you? Now the ultrasonic sensor is going to continuously monitor its environment. Okay, once it detects that an object is closer than 30, right, it will activate the servo to turn 45 degrees, right? Let's put a control of delay of 1 second here, right? Now if this condition is met, it will do this. Else, right, the condition to act is not met, it will activate another action, which is servo to return to 0. Right? Now if you put this together, it won't work, because in inputs, sensors have to be always continuously sensing. So you need to wrap this round or enclose it within a control block called forever, right? Put it here and drop this in. Okay, now let's try out the program and see what actually happens as we run the program. Now I'm going to on the camera again to take a view of the Mbot. Okay, I'm going to minimize it now. Now let's start. Now the event is to spacebar. You will start. Once it start, this whole block will be in. The action will be starting right now. How do you know that? Once you space, you see that spacebar. Sorry, right? You see the action? No. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Now, what is the robot detecting? Now, it's detecting a distance of 24, which is less than 30. So it's actually now an angle of 45. You can see it's angle 45, right? Okay, now let's say we want to change the distance between the object. Look, there is an, it will return to the 0-degree position. Okay, that's right. Now I'm going to use my hand to activate now. Once I detect, it will turn. Once I take away, it will return to 0. 45, 0. Angle 45, 0. Right? So what it says here now is, right, let's stop the program and let me explain to you once again. What does it say here is that, right, if, right, let's organize this coding blocks neatly. Right, now what it says here is when I start, right, what happened is that the sensor on port 3 is continuously monitoring its environment, right, and match it to a set condition, which is less than 30 mm. So anything less than 30 mm, the robot will execute the action of turning the servo motor to an angle of 45, right? If the object have moved further away, greater than 30, then it will return to a position of 0. Okay, let's watch again. Let's watch again. Okay, now let's start. How to start? Event starter is a space bar, so I'm going to start. Now it's waiting for data. Right now it's down in the 0 degrees position, which means that it is greater than the object in front is greater than 30. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my hand closer, right? Okay, if less than 30, it will turn angle of 45. Else, if it's greater than 30, it will return to 0. Okay, basically this is the short project on to show you how the servo motor behaves, how you can use the servo motor to turn to various angles from 0 to 180 degrees. Okay, now that's the end of my project on servo motor. It's relatively simple, so you can think of, put your mind to work and think of how you can use this servo motor in combination of other components in the Mbot to do a maybe a smart home project. Okay, how to conserve electricity, how to do automation. Think about it. That's all for my lesson today. I hope you have learned something about the servo. This is the session on servo and also a revision in combination with the sensor, which is the ultrasonic sensor. Okay, thank you. I will see you in the next project for MakeBlock 5 together with Mbot.